Hey little bro, we have some strategies to discuss, so if you'd like to sit next to me, would you like some coffee? I think you would, because we have a lot of work to do, so come here, sit next to me. In the upcoming tournament, there will be 3 matches, okay? You and your team has to only win 2 of them to pass to the next stage. We'll go over your picks, tactics and builds that I want you to have in your little finger by the time we finish, okay? Me and your teammates will really depend on you, so don't screw it up, okay? So, I did some research beforehand. Their team has a Seraphine main on bot that also plays Soraka and Lulu. So these are the most obvious picks that may happen, during the tournament. So, and also I analyzed their support's playstyle. They mainly play these 4 characters, and their playstyle is very safe, healing, shieldy, not very offensive. So, what we have to do, obviously, you, our support, pick an aggressive one. You see, Bard, Morgana, Leona, Zyra. These are your 4 best picks. I also analyzed your history, so yeah. So I think these 4, however, Bard is the safest option, Let's discuss some possible outcomes and compositions. They will most probably not spend their bans on support characters, so carry characters like Vayne or Varus, and also Fiora. Probably. We also won't focus on banning the enemy support characters because I know you will be better than their support, so you can totally smash anyone that comes your way. Yeah. We'll be banning probably somebody for our mid, top and jungle so that they can thrive, We're probably going for Sylas. We will also be banning probably characters like Twitch and Kog'Maw, just to not let them create this pressuring duo on bot like Lulu and Kog'Maw or Lulu and Twitch, So let's say we first pick Bard for you, because we know you will be great whatever happens, right? Then the enemies probably will go for a counter support, so champions like Soraka with her range and peel, Seraphine with her poke, and also probably Senna. We did not take her into consideration, but she is a very good pick versus Bard. And if that happens, then the best thing we can do with your ADC is to pick somebody with a high range and clear. So, characters like Caitlyn or Sivir, but also Zeri. Then what happens is you probably won't make a lot of solo kills on your lane because of the healing powers of Seraphine and Soraka. It will also be difficult to attack from front, from lane, because Soraka and Seraphine have higher range than you do. So, the best thing to do here is to let them farm and come closer to your tower. Then, what you will do is obviously keep your vision here and here for the enemy jungler. Then what you do is traverse through here using your E ability to catch them off guard, stun them and probably make some kills. If not, then that's okay, it's a good poke. Now if the enemy ADC is a very safe and scaling champion like, for example, Israel or Lux. They also might have Caitlyn on their team because she's a great combo with Seraphine or Senna in their range. Then let's just say the bot lane looks like this. They have Caitlyn and Senna. We have Bard and Zeri. If they play very safe, stay under the tower, and farm safely from here, like scaling, waiting for the late game, waiting for enemy jungle ganks, then this is an easy bot lane for us because they obviously will want to pressure you. They both have high range, high poke, and strong early game, so they will try to send you under your own turret. Then your jungler comes. Let's see, your jungler plays mainly Ramos, Evelyn, and Zac. These are pretty easy ganks. If the enemies really push you under your own turret, Zac can gank from here. They will probably want to keep a ward here. So ganks from here are also possible. If not, let's say Ramos can just charge through, focused on Senna, because she's harder to escape. She doesn't have Caitlyn's E, you know. Then they are pressured to stay under their turret because they're scared of their jungler. And if that happens, you ask Zeri push the wave as fast as she can, you know, kill all the minions, and you have free access to go roam the map, gank your mid laner, you know, maybe if you succeed with a kill right here, then you can go to top lane, gank from here with your E, or if not, go through there, gank with E right here, and make a kill on top lane. Always remember to check what happens on your bot lane, because if Zeri is in danger, then you don't go top. You recall and get your first item, which we'll get over later. However, it's this one, Boots of Mobility. Very important for Bard. Use your E from the base through here. It's possible to create a portal right here so that you're quicker to the lane. And, you know, the fun starts over. You go through the same steps. You try to poke. You try to kill them if you can. Understood? Nice. I know you'll be awesome. Don't worry, I mean, somebody has to put stress on you and your team, and what is coach supposed to do if not that, right? Now let's go over your best picks, alright? So your Bard. This champion is very aggressive. You will never play safe when playing Bard. You have very high damage in early and mid game. You don't scale as well as, let's say, Sona or Seraphine. But you win by snowballing your team and helping on your whole map, not only your bot lane. You have to max your abilities in this order. Q is the most important because of its damage in early game. Then E for the mid game, and you traversing through the whole map, because leveling up your E shortens its cooldown, making it possible to go from bot through mid to top in very quick succession. The last one is W, and it's a good spell, not for its healing powers because it doesn't heal a lot, especially with your build, which doesn't include a lot of AP, but its boost of movement speed, it's absolutely crucial in long fights when you have to follow the enemy. Then obviously air whenever you can. These are your start items. That's very obvious, you know, there's no other better items for the start than these. Then the most important thing for Bard is buying these boots of mobility on your first recall. If you don't have to, try not to recall before reaching 1100 gold pieces, which is the amount that you need to buy these boots of mobility. Then, the second most important item is the Imperial Mandate, which is absolutely awesome for Bard, as your passive ability slows enemies, making it so much easier to kill them in early game. Then for your tankiness, there's the Locket of Iron Solari, because Bard is not an assassin killer. He has a lot of damage and very constant damage, not one-shotting abilities, so being tanky for him is very, very necessary. Then for your last items, there's Michael's Blessing if the enemies have a lot of crowd control, or even one ability that is crucial for team fights if you want to save your ADC or midliner carry. Then this obviously for healing reduction if the enemies have champions like Fiora, Briar, let's say Ramos, Dr. Mundo and whatnot. This is awesome only if you don't need these two items, because it will make it so much easier for you to travel through the map, one-shot enemies if you have your teammate with you there. It gives you a lot of movement speed. Then Redemption is very good also, well, if you don't need any of these first two items, because they are the most important ones, alright? If you don't need any of them, you can go with this if you have a tanky team that will fight through a long team fights. And then this is for your tankiness if the enemy have a one funneling carry like Kog'Maw or Fiora, so that you don't die as easily from them. Or for example a double support situation with Seraphine, Soraka, Sona on bot, and then Ivern on jungle, and let's say Karma on mid, or something like that. Lux on mid. For your runes, it's best to do full damage from early stages, so that's electrocute, then damage. This is AP scaling with some utility from wards, either or Poro Ghost, which is better if enemies have invisible champions like Twitch. Let's say Twitch, Evelyn, Shaco, amazing. Then this last rune is just so awesome for your items that have the unique use abilities, like the Locket of Iron Solari or Michael, Redemption, and also it makes your trinket come up faster, quicker, right? Celerity for you to move quickly on the map, and Scorch for dealing as much airy damage as you can. Then attack speed for dealing with wards and also poking enemies. AP and armor and magic resistance, whatever you feel is most appropriate. Probably that's armor when enemies have a tanky support, and magic resistance if it's like a Soraka or Seraphine or Lux or Vel'Koz, So this is your Bard. I know you're awesome with Bard, so I have no doubts you will slay whatever enemy picks. Now for your second best support, Morgana, which is a very, very risky insta-lock first pick, I would suggest you only pick Morgana. Let's see. Because I don't think the enemies will ever play a champion like, let's say, Leona, Blitzcrank, or Trash, which Morgana is absolutely awesome against, So that's just in case, They will probably stick to these champions like Seraphine, Sona, Soraka, and probably Janna. And playing Morgana against these four is not a good pick, okay? But let's just go over your Morgana build to make sure you know what to do, right? That's easy. Your maxing abilities are Q, W, E for the stun duration, damage, and then E is just like for the cooldown reduction. You know, some would say that maxing E second is good because of its cooldown reduction. However, I say it's best to have the most damage you can. Stars is the same with Bard, you know, it's an AP poking champion, so there's no need to do anything different than this. And for the core items, with Morgana you go for mage, basically. There's not a lot of like support powers in you. You don't have front lane. You don't have healing, you only have this one shield. You are a mage on the bottom lane, so with your runs, you go full AP. You know, this is for scaling AP. This is for your mana, obviously. And cooldown reduction here and here and in your boots. That's very important for Morgana. Because, you know, Morgana can't do a lot if she misses her Q and then she puts her V when the enemy like steps outside of it. So cooldown reduction is so important here. Your core items are obviously Liandry and Relay. Then you go full AP with this item and this. You pick Morgana only if the enemies have healing. And this Zonia is very, very useful if enemies have, let's see, champions like, you know, Zed, I don't know, Rumble, and some of the more aggressive warriors like Briar here. She's very in meta right now. But remember, your Morgana is not the tanky front lane. You are the damage in your team and the utility with your stuns, slows and shield. Let's go through a different scenario, for example for the second match. After you win the first one, obviously. Let's say they banned, enemy banned Bard because they were so scared of your Bards the previous game, right? Let's say they banned Morgana, and so what do? Of course you always can surprise us with something different like Thresh or Leona because I know you're good with these. However, what you then can do is pick your Zyra, which is a very, very aggressive offensive support, which will do a lot of great damage against their picks. You know, Zyra on the 6th level has a lot of one-shotting capabilities. And with coordination of your diving junglers, let's say Nocturne, Hecarim, or let's say Sejuani, even Evelyn can do a great dive with her ult. What you do in this composition is have a very aggressive ADC, like let's say Kai'Sa, Ashe, which is a great synergy with Zyra. Caitlyn is also awesome because of her range. She will never get poked by Lulu or Sona. But you know, let's say she's on their team because they want to play it safe. They really love to play it safe. What you have to do then is be extremely, extremely offensive here on your lane. You have the priority, you have the push, you have the poke, you have the CC, and that's very important. And you have the absolute capabilities of diving them, killing them under their own turret. Oh, I know, if you have a misfortune on your team. The only thing you're afraid of is their jungler, which we don't know. Nuno is pretty scary. They might pick Kayn, for his combo with healing supports, and then he will go for the red one. But essentially what you do is be extremely aggressive, push, kill them under turret and collect gold from the turret. Ask your jungler for not necessarily ganks. If they can make a dive with you, then it's awesome, do it. But just ask your jungler to be here, be in the area. Ward here, and maybe here. You know, if your mid lane has priority, they will come and help if needed. Their jungler will either try to help their bot with you constantly pushing on them, or completely ignore bot lane and go help on top. So that's when your top liner tries to play it safe with champions like Shen or Sion, let's see. You know, Singed would be so amazing here, because, oops. Because what he would do is really play here his game. He will be constantly pushing minions right here, or even take the jungler right here. So, enemy jungler then would have to come here to help their top liner defeat Singed, right? So your bot would be free for dives with your jungler, or just you, your old, let's say, Zyra with Misfortune. So easy. And that's your second game, right? Let's go over your Zyra build. It's pretty much the same as Morgana, you know. Your maxing abilities is this: order E, Q, W. Your start is the same, your build is the same, only with a slight difference of sorcerer's rules, because Zyra doesn't rely as much on her cooldown reduction. She really is a one-shooter. Runes are the same, they are just the same. This, also on Morgana, is just so important. You pick the Relentless Hunter on every champion you can. You know, any support you do, you want to have either Power Ghost or Zombie Totem because of the utility, and Relentless Hunter for being so fast while walking through the map or just on your lane. Correct? Yeah, awesome. The last scenario I would like to discuss is your ADC picking Seraphine as first insta-lock pick, only so that they don't have the choice here. Then they will be forced to either pick Sona and Soraka and play it very safe, because Seraphine has so much more poke than these two, or maybe play it a little more aggressive with Lux, Zyra. But then what you do is you pick Bard, and listen, hear me out. I know that Bard with Seraphine is a very bad combo, because Bard is so much more aggressive and like full going than Seraphine, and after Seraphine uses her Q and E and it doesn't kill, then you're screwed, pretty much. You only have to run away. So what you do here is that Seraphine has a lot of clearing potential. She destroys minions with her Q and E, and that's like the whole wave is gone. So the enemies can either stay under the turret and wait for the help of the jungler, and then Seraphine can easily just farm from her high range with her Q. And that's when you have a lot of room and potential for going mid lane through here and helping your mid lane and helping your top lane. And then what happens? You have a very, very safe bottom lane with Seraphine just slowly scaling on her own. She goes for Liandry and Relay maybe. She doesn't have a lot of early damage, but she scales awesomely. So what you do is help your aggressive top lane, like let's say Irelia, Jax, or maybe Fiora, or whatnot. In this scenario you don't have a Psy on top, or a Malphite. Maybe Gangplank would be so awesome because of his attack damage, which you don't have on bottom lane. So let's say Gangplank, where is he? Then also you maybe have an aggressive mid lane, like let's say Tryndamere. Or let's go for a more even traditional AP mid lane like Orianna. Wherever she is. Wait. Here. So these are your pretty good early and mid-game mid lanes, but also what you can do is scale as well as your Seraphine on bot with Kassadin or Ryze or Fizz on mid. They don't really have a lot of potential early, so that's why you must help them so that they can scale more easily to the late game, right? And that's it. I think that's your tournament. I know you will slay the competition. You and your team will be so awesome. Do you have any questions? No? Then I think that's all. That's all that I wanted to tell you. You're ready to kick ass. But now, I want you to go and make yourself like a delicious, delicious dinner. Maybe pancakes with Nutella, a coffee or tea, and just have a rest, till the end of the day. You have to rest to be energized and ready to fight for the tournament. Okay? Right. Yeah. See you.